another gay diverse woman in it, make it more fucking lame. Put a chick in it, make her gay. A diverse woman in it, make it lame.
You serious?
Good day, ladies and gents, my name is Hilda and I'm DiscussThing, and today we'll be talking about something that I didn't think I'll talk about today, and that's the show The Acolyte. Now, if you had followed my channel and my content for the past few months, you probably remember that I said that in my Acolyte video. I have not watched The Acolyte and I will not watch The Acolyte. I will never watch The Acolyte, and I meant it. I meant it because I didn't want to just see something that was going to be so universally bad, even from the trailers, from everything we knew before the TV series got out. And so I didn't watch it. I didn't, because I knew that I was just going to have a bad time, and I couldn't do that for Star Wars anymore. There's just limits to everything that I can review and just endure in order to either make content or just continue to fight against the stupid decisions that are made in the movie and TV series studios. However, with Star Wars, I just tapped out. I just embraced the apathy. This is something that a lot of YouTubers have been talking about for quite some time now, that we're not angry anymore, we're just apathetic, and I am apathetic to The Acolyte. So I'm not going to talk about the TV series in the least, but I will talk about the fallout of the series. And the first thing that I want to talk about is this. This is from Cosmic Book News from several days ago, explaining that the Nielsen ratings for this episode 6 of The Acolyte are out, and we get some very, very nice things. First of all, it would turn out that Disney has Nielsen ratings automatically turned on in the Disney Plus accounts, which will directly translate on how many people are viewing the episodes and how many people are viewing for how many minutes, basically just like YouTube view time. And so we'll see one of the screenshots here. We'll see the top 10 from July 1st to July 7th to how many minutes in the millions were overwatched. The Bear, The Boys, Supercell, Worst Roommate Ever, Love Island, Bridgerton, and so on. And that on 10th place is The Man with 1000 Kids with 332 million minutes watched on Netflix, and with only 3 episodes. So this would mean that for another week, The Acolyte didn't make the top 10 Nielsen ratings. The show cost nearly $200 million, and nobody can understand how and why. But let's go down a little bit further. We see that since The Acolyte is a no-show, it means that episode 6 is lower than 332, which is The Man with 1000 Kids. And previous episodes were reported to be lower than 390 and 298 minutes. So, first of all, this is a Star Wars show. This is the brand Star Wars. They should at least be in the top 10 just for curiosity, just to have people curiously viewing, even if it's a shit show just like their previous shows up until now for the most part. This means that people are already burnt out on Lucasfilm, on Disney, on their absolute disaster of TV programs and movies that have been coming out of their streamline, and nobody wants to watch it. And not making the Nielsen ratings, the top 10 Nielsen ratings, is just because that means that not only that nobody likes the show because of the Rotten Tomatoes ratings and all the other websites that have reported ratings for the show, but you also don't have people who watch it. Which means that all your efforts for the modern audience, the bright audience, the woke audience, the DEI, the ESG, the absolute fuckload of abbreviatures that you want to put in order to bring as many as new people that you think that you're going to bring, just didn't work. So you wasted your money, you alienated the entirety of the fan base, one of the most loyal and oldest fan bases in the history of sci-fi movies and sci-fi franchises, has been alienated to the point that they don't even want to turn on the TV and just even hate watch just because it's Star Wars. This is what Lucasfilm and what Kathleen Kennedy and what former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland, have done. And this is just amazing in my opinion. How can you alienate a fan base so quickly and so thoroughly? I mean, I can speak for myself. I just said that I'm not gonna put myself through that. I didn't, and I had a very nice couple of months while just watching reviews of the Acolyte and laughing myself because other people suffered for what I didn't suffer. And I know I didn't make content on it. I just couldn't. It would have destroyed the tiniest shred of good memories that I still have, that I keep all of my good memories with Star Wars in my head. It would have shattered them completely, and I didn't want that. I have to preserve the once amazing franchise. And speaking of Kathleen Kennedy, she actually had something to say about her potential retirement. The Park Place just released an article yesterday saying Kathleen Kennedy ready to retire but is waiting for a win, according to entertainment analyst, whatever. This is a beautiful picture. It looks like she has been dragged here through the photo shoot and just she's bleeding on the back because of all the sacrifices that she had to make to any of her conscience, if she ever had any. I don't know what I'm saying, but it just looks awesome. The article reads, Kathleen Kennedy apparently has something in common with much of the Star Wars fanbase. She wants Kathleen Kennedy to leave Lucasfilm. On that we actually agree. There is something that we actually agree on. But according to Film Thread, Chris Gore, she's only willing to walk out the door under one condition. Namely, she wants to leave on the heels of a massive critical and commercial success. That's something Lucasfilm hasn't experienced in quite some time. So what you're basically saying is she'll be there forever. Am I right? I think I am right. There is no way at this point that Lucasfilm and Disney will have a massive Star Wars success. There is no way that they'll be able to do that. Namely, because when it was revealed that Marvel just fired a lot of his activist writers and staff in order to focus on the story, because they admitted they actually had the balls to admit that they failed with Phase 4, Lucasfilm doubled down on all the DEI and all the woke nonsense. So this is something absolutely impossible to achieve currently. You have alienated everyone. There is no one left to watch what you produce. And if we go to Ubisoft and see how Star Wars Outlaws is gonna do, then I don't think that anything that is produced, sold, transferred, or lent to any other company is going to make a success. Down in the article, we see that absolutely beautiful picture. This is just people who are absolutely oblivious on everything. I have never seen so much lack of any self-awareness in a single picture. She also oversaw Solo, a Star Wars story which holds the distinction of being the first ever Star Wars film to lose money at the box office. Can't you just feel how soon she'll be going out of Star Wars? She will die at Star Wars. She will be like this 150-year-old, the only one left in that studio in this old dusty building full of cobwebs and roaming critters, and she'll just continue to type new Star Wars DEI content. I can visualize it. With every failed project, the announcement that never ultimately sees the light of day, fans around the world ask a series of unifying questions. When will Kathleen Kennedy leave Star Wars? When will Disney fire Kathleen Kennedy? How does Kathleen Kennedy still have a job? Well, not in the most cleanest way, I'll tell you that. And according to Film Threads, Chris Gore on a recent episode of the PRO show with WDW Pro, Kathleen Kennedy actually wants to leave Lucasfilm, but only under very specific circumstances. And a quote, "We've been hearing lately that Kathleen Kennedy is not very hands-on with Star Wars at this point." She never was. She's so delusional that she never was very hands-on. She was hands-in Star Wars, just in trying to destroy it from the inside. Hollywood's Cooper WDW Pro said to Chris Gore on a recent episode of his livestream YouTube show. Are you hearing anything similar that she might maybe operating in title only, at least for now? Gore then confirmed that he was hearing similar rumblings before dropping a little bit more information. She wants to retire and leave, but she wants to do that on a win. Then we explain about the absolute abysmal ratings when the Acolyte was at 13%, now it's at 17%. It has also vanished from the Nielsen top 10 streaming shows after just 4 episodes. So apparently the first 4 episodes had some Nielsen ratings. Okay, good correction. Kennedy has also announced a plethora of Star Wars projects that never saw the light of day. Yeah, I know that she probably had an amazing amount of things that she wanted to tell, and 95% were even dumber than anything that she actually saw the light of day at this point. A trilogy by The Last Jedi director Rian Johnson, lovely. A Rogue Squadron movie by Wonder Woman director Patty Jenkins, even lovelier. A film by Marvel Studio head Kevin Feige and a film by Game of Thrones showrunners David Benioff and Dan Weiss. Okay, but I don't see how a Star Wars script would work on them if you don't give him creative freedom. With Kennedy's current Lucasfilm contract reportedly set to expire in October, it will be interesting to see if Disney renews her or if Lucasfilm might be searching for a new studio head. They will renew it. I'm absolutely sure. I'm absolutely positive they won't fire her because they cannot fire her. No sensible studio would keep someone like Kathleen Kennedy and like someone like Leslie Headland after so many abhorrent failures in terms of movies and TV shows. We're talking about millions of dollars lost. We're talking about loss of merchandise sale. We're talking about a loss of watch time. We're talking about loss of ticket sales and increasing budget cuts because of tanked projects. We're talking about cancelled projects. We're talking about absolute plethora of controversial things, especially the one that Amanda Stenberg did with her dance music video. So you're having so many things that even one of these things would constitute a firing, or at least a suspension, or at least a public, or at least just removing them from some of the projects. But no, nothing has happened as of today, so nothing will change. And if it changes, that means that someone must take over Lucasfilm and just change the entire course of how the company is run. Because as of this point, they think everything's fine, even though it's not fine.
Everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
They're in a burning lake, a burning petrol lake. In the center of it, they're drinking coffee and they don't see anything wrong with that. So if something were to change, it will have to change from the top and had a massive scope of just cleaning house and just reinventing themselves, just like Marvel is doing, in order to try to at least salvage a portion of what they once had. And what they once had was a fan base all across the world, a dedicated group of people which was in the millions, and they were in line for every movie, for every TV show. They had all the merchandise. They were absolutely obsessed with everything Star Wars, and they still are. But they're now obsessed with the old things because the new things suck. And the only people that are actually still buying some of the merchandise are those die-hard collectors that they just want to have everything Star Wars, not because of some sentimental joy. And if Lucasfilm wants to bring back at least a portion of these people, they'll just need to absolutely do a 180 and try to reinvent themselves as soon as possible, because 2024 is coming to an end. There is nothing exciting coming out from that company, and I don't think that they can do another year of failure at this point, because it's not going to work well for them and the money will eventually run out. So anyways, this is all I have for today. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. Do you think Kathleen Kennedy will eventually leave Star Wars? Do you think Lucasfilm and Disney Plus and Disney Star Wars have any hope of regaining some of their former glory? tell me down in the comments. Press the like button, subscribe for more, and follow me on my socials and my Patreon where I gather money for homeless animals and animals in shelters. Thank you very much. I'm Helzo. Thank you and cheers and stay fresh.